Hey everyone, it's that time again where I start to compile everything from the past year into a neat little package so that you guys know what I loved the most. And this year, considering I'm still waiting on seeing a couple of movies from 2018 that I know I'm gonna love, we're gonna start things off by talking about music. Now, for those of you who haven't heard me talk about music before, be warned, my taste in music is just as eclectic as my taste in film. I will kind of listen to just about anything, and that can see me going from listening to rap to screamo and then back to jazz in the space of like 3 albums. So this list is kind of diverse and doesn't really stick to any one genre. I really tried to listen to as much music as possible in 2018, but I of course couldn't get around to listening to everything. So I'd really appreciate it if you guys left me some recommendations of stuff that you think I should check out. There is always a chance that I have heard it before, but I really dig finding stuff that way when it's been recommended and I wouldn't have heard of it otherwise. Of course, I'm also keen to hear what your list is of your top albums of the year. Be aware that this list is not a best albums of 2018, as I don't think there's any real way to quantify that, though most of these albums were critically acclaimed. I just don't think that I should expect that you guys will agree with the list at all. First up, there's one album that didn't quite make the cut that I do want to quickly acknowledge. That album is Taboo by Denzel Curry. While it doesn't exactly nail what it's going for thematically, each track on this album is a serious banger, and I got some real mileage out of Denzel's incredibly versatile flow and gritty writing. Keep an eye on this dude, because he is just getting better and better, and he also had one of the best live sets I saw in 2018.
I let it into my home. I let it into my home.
This noise rock 4-piece coming out of Rhode Island delivered a crude, cruel, loud, and violent 50 minutes of music that I could really only describe as death grips with guitars. This can be a pretty hard listen at times as it descends further and further into a flurry of screeching and wailing electronics and hammering percussion. But when it rises back out of that dark and growling fury and delivers stuff like the riff driving through Satan in The Wait or the simmering bass line in Less Sex, well, you're in the midst of something that just should not be missed.
Do you want to start the game again?
Pressure makes me lash back. Wish I could get past that. I can't take a step back. Makes me wish.
Brockhampton topped my list last year after their absolutely life-changing effort on the Saturation trilogy, and after that they quickly cemented themselves as pretty much my favourite artist of all time. So you can kind of imagine going into their new album that I was pretty hyped. The good news was, the band delivered, and while their change in sound did take some adjusting too, boy was I thankful for it. These guys could have cashed in on a Saturation 4 type deal that would have made everyone happy, but I really love that they threw all of that out and came back with something meaner, weirder, and ultimately more affecting. Tracks like Wait, Tape, and the killer final 3 of San Marcos, Tonya, and Fabric prove that this band is going places that their counterparts just wouldn't dare, and because of that, they're quickly becoming the defining group of my generation. Quick plug, I made a video on why Brockhampton is the best thing ever, and you can check that video out through the link in the description. Guys, don't ask me how I ended up listening to an all-Spanish crossover of flamenco and R&B pop, but goddamn if this isn't one of the spiciest records I listened to in 2018. I don't understand a fucking thing this girl is saying, but I'll be damned if it doesn't sound cool as hell and tap into something astoundingly unique. The fact that this 30-minute album just got me in all kinds of feels regardless of the fact I don't understand the lyrics at all surely means there's something special about it, right? Kanye West was a busy man in 2018 between releasing 5 albums in the space of 5 weeks and being a total fucking train wreck in just about every public appearance he had. but amidst it all, he actually managed to release what is probably his best music in about 5 years, thanks to a collaboration with Kid Cudi. Aside from the totally obscure, inventive, almost alternative production, this 7-track collection features the best vocal work from either performer in yonks. Honestly, try to tell me that Reborn and Cudi Montage didn't just throw your mind into the 4th dimension. Ugh. Not my best work. Okay, so just a heads up, the next 6 entries are all pretty interchangeable for me, so I'm just going about how I feel about them today. Maybe tomorrow the order could be entirely different, but we're just going with this for now. Clarence Clarity was a late find for me, but boy did his music make an impression real quick. It's kind of hard to define what this dude is doing because I've never really heard anything like it. So let's just put it this way. This is what I want out of my pop music. It's so strange and bizarre and unconventional, and yet it still fills you with that desire to just dance and have fun. If you truly want a unique musical experience, I really suggest giving Clarence Clarity a try.
Drug dealer Benzes with gold diggers in them, and elevator condos.
The first of Kanye's 5 album ventures saw him deliver production that is probably his best in what feels like forever, yes, even better than KSG, for his good friend and good music president to totally fucking decimate. Honestly, no one delivered better bars in 2018 than Pusha T, at least as far as I know, and it's probably the finest work of his career, showing that even at over 40 years old, you can still run circles around the kids.
Let's get screwed. I don't care. You fuck the world up now. We'll fuck it all back down.
Thankfully, my most anticipated non-Brockhampton album of 2018 totally delivered. Janelle Monáe made the most relevant, targeted, and dare I say urgent record that could have possibly come out in 2018, covering stuff like sexuality, self-expression, identity, and femininity, while also managing to cover the state of interpersonal connectivity in modern America, all through her incredibly versatile vocal ability and production style. Really, all you have to do is listen to Screwed and Django Jane back to back to think to yourself, oh shit, Janelle Monáe might just be the best mainstream pop artist on the scene right now. Joy as an act of resistance sounds like what you'd get if you filled an English pub full of drunk musicians and asked them to all scream about what pisses them off the most, and I fucking loved it. No album this year filled me with as much of a need to just go out and punch something as this one did. This is angry, fired up, politically charged protest punk music that just wants to pick a fight with everything. And in terms of sheer manic energy, nothing that came out in 2018 comes close to what Idols is offering up. Architects has been one of my favourite musical discoveries of 2018, so to find out that they were dropping a new album in November was very exciting. What I didn't know was that the band had just lost their lead guitarist and primary songwriter Tom Seal to skin cancer. And so the fact that the band ended up delivering not only their best album, but outright the best metal record I heard in 2018, that's nothing short of staggering. The sheer primal, guttural rage that just tears through every word and note of Holy Hell should require a harness that straps you to the floor while listening to it, because this is the kind of music that makes you just want to demolish everything in your path. This is music that screams into oblivion as it struggles through devastating loss, and most brilliantly, the band finds a renewed sense of hope within that void. So, number 1, my number 1 album of the year. Let's do this. what goddamn planet is this album from? Unless you tell me that this album was crafted inside the sun of another galaxy by an interdimensional being, I won't believe you, because Sophie's debut album might just be the most alien thing I have ever heard, and it's phenomenal! How can I even explain this record? It's like an angel having sex with a transformer. That's like the best and only way I can describe it, and even then it's not the best, because the angel sometimes just goes off and does her own things, like on the opening track, It's Okay to Cry, and then the transformer just comes and takes over on tracks like Face Shopping and just beats the shit out of a DJ set. It might not be 2018's most cohesive record, but for me it's without a doubt the one that I found the most spellbinding, and listening to this transgender woman navigate her identity and kind of express who she is through her music like this, using just entirely synthetic sounds, it truly is something to behold. So there we have it, my top 10 albums of 2018. Thank you so much for watching. I'm keen now to hear what you thought of my list. Did any of your own favorites make it onto my list? And of course, please let me know what your top 10 albums of 2018 are as well. I'm really excited to see what you guys were into in the past year. Of course, you can subscribe to Breaking Banter down there somewhere, as well as my other channel, Loverboy Media, over there. And you can follow me on Twitter at Loverboy Media and on Instagram at Breaking Banter. And if you do feel like doing so, you can support us on Patreon, launching a bunch of cool new rewards that are definitely worth checking out. Thank you so much to anyone who is supporting us on there already. I love you guys. I love everyone that watches these videos. There's a lot more lists on the way, so stay tuned and I'll see you guys in the next one.